Yes, ladies and gentlemen, time now for Truth, Justice, and the NBA for this Tuesday, May the 5th of 2015. The night after at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, we saw the Cavs taste defeat for the first time this postseason. And of course, the truth of the matter is the following. Kevin Love is sorely missed, no pun intended, sorely missed in Cleveland right now. And J.R. Smith, his appearance would not have hurt the Cavs' chances either. Of course, Smith will miss, game 2 as well because of the game-clinching antics that he had, cheap-shotting a Boston player, which, of course, costed him last night's appearance and will cost him Wednesday night's appearance as well. But we'll be back for game number 3 in Chicago this weekend. When Derrick Rose is healthy, it makes all the difference in the world. And, we pretty much did not see that during this season. As a matter of fact, these last few seasons, we haven't seen Derrick Rose healthy. How big of an issue is it? Rose has missed more than 180 games over the past 4 seasons. If there's ever been a guy that has been in the hard luck department when it comes to, being healthy and staying healthy, Derrick Rose would be on the top of that list. But he hasn't been. But now he is, and Chicago looks like a different team. Yeah, against Milwaukee, he did have struggling issues, turnovers in particular. But last night, he only turned it over twice. He was a facilitator, and he was a scoring threat, scoring 25 points as he was able to handle defenders that came his way, including, King James. And Pau Gasol, 21 points. He was double figures in rebounds with 10. And Jimmy Butler added 20 points. When you get Rose, Butler, and Gasol scoring at least 20 points, wow, that makes a difference. And by the way, Mike Dinwiddie, big thumbs up for him as well because he added 3 3-pointers for a total of 14 points. He started last night, and he made the most of his starting role. Kirk Heinrich, he's hardly played in these playoffs so far, because of knee issues. And he didn't play a whole lot last night, but his minutes did increase coming off the bench with 15 points. And hey, he scored 6 points. Not bad for very limited work. So the Bulls take game 1. They're now trying to do the same thing on Wednesday night, but they got what they came for, at least a split to steal home court advantage. And for Cleveland, there's so much in the form of expectations set on this team. You wonder, even though Coach Black got Cleveland to the number 2 seed, what his future will be like if they cannot get out of round number 2 despite the Kevin Love injury and despite J.R. Smith not being available until game number 3. Here is the thing about this series, and this part seems to be inevitable, okay? LeBron James, as we saw last night, has to work hard on defense. He does anyway, but even more now because of the absence of Love, okay? LeBron, 19 points last night for the Cavs, 15 rebounds. Not bad. 6 turnovers, including a couple of costly ones in the final few minutes of that game. Ouch, right there. You could tell that as the game kept going, I'm not saying that LeBron was tired, but you could tell that he had to continue to work hard as the game kept progressing in that fourth quarter when, Cleveland was getting close but just couldn't get over the hump. LeBron James, no doubt about it, really watched his minutes. He played 42 of the 48 minutes last night. Kyree Irving played 44 minutes. He was probably the brightest star. Kyree was with 30 points in the game, 6 assists, only 1 of 5, though, from three-point range. Iman Shumpert last night, coming off the bench normally, but last night he got the start with 4 3-pointers and 22 points. So that was a positive. But for LeBron, he knows that he'll have to get more help, especially from the post players. And this was the disappointing part of the game. The veterans on the team, guys that come off the bench and normally provide a spark for Cleveland when they need it. Sean Marion and James Jones. Jones, a former teammate of LeBron's at Miami. Neither last night played much. Neither scored a point. Mike Miller, who got the start last night, was disappointing. Only 1 3-pointer in the game. He only played 16 minutes, and, of course, the guy's been around 15 years. He's not the quickest cat in the world. You don't expect him to play good defense, and he did not last night. Probably the thing that surprised me the most about this game was the fact that Pau Gasol was getting open looks in this game, and Cleveland did not respect his mid-range shooting, and Gasol made them pay for it. Again, Gasol last night with 21 points, okay? And Chicago's got to do everything they can to make sure that he's not just a one-year Bull, because remember, he's a free agent at the end of the season, so we'll see what his future how his future will lay out. You got to think Chicago's going to do everything they can to keep him at least one more season. But the thing about this game that you noticed the most was the post game, and it just was not effective. Tristan Thompson, the backup center, only had 4 points. He actually played more than Timothy Mozgov, who started last night down low, 26 minutes, only 9 points. The rebounds were about the same. The turnovers overall were about the same. But to me, the lack of post play for Cleveland hurt them. And also, too, Chicago just shot the ball better. They shot well over 50% from the field, and they were very, very, and I mean very effective last night from three-point range. So we'll see what Cleveland does. We'll see if the lineup gets changed at all. But the bottom line is LeBron can't do it all by himself on the defensive end, and Kyree Irving will probably get his points, but those two alone can't be enough. You have to have somebody else to help supplement Kevin Love. And we'll see if Cleveland can at least get game 2 and try to steal one back in Chicago. But all the pressure's on the Cavs right now, and that's no bull. All right, quickly previewing game number 2 on Tuesday night from Phillips Arena in Atlanta. And unless the Hawks can shoot the ball well for one game and not just one half, and unless they can find some way to contain the backcourt of Beal and Wall, this series is over, okay? 60 wins means nothing if you're a Hawks fan. Means nothing right now if you're Atlanta in general. I mean, what Atlanta did back in January when they just went absolutely hot, that doesn't mean anything right now. We're in May, and they're down 1-0 to a team that, other than Golden State, is the only one that hasn't lost a playoff game yet. And the only ones who are undefeated from the East so far. Remember, the Wizards swept right through the Raptors and presently have a 1-0 lead. They are true warriors. So there's no question that the Wizards aren't just satisfied with one win. They want to get a second win. And if you're worried about the injury situation, it doesn't appear that you have to be. It looks like Beal and Wall will both play. Of course, Beal late in that game on Sunday had that ankle sprain. Looks like he's going to be ready to go. John Wall with the left wrist looks like he'll be fine too after a slight sprain. And Jeff Teague for Atlanta, it looks like he'll be able to go tweak the ankle up a bit previously as well. So it looks like from the injury perspectives, they're not all going to be 100%, especially Beal. Really watch him, but he will play in this game. Atlanta, you could tell fatigue really set in for them on Sunday because they had less than 48 hours to recoup after beating Brooklyn. And first half, it seemed like they saved their best for first, shooting over 50% in the first half. Second half went completely south, 25% from the field. 1 out of every 4 shots made. Not good enough, especially when you get to this level of the playoffs. We know that Horford and we know that Millsap will be ready to go. They played well in spite of the loss on Sunday. It was the backcourt that didn't do too good. Jeff Teague didn't have a great game, and neither did Kyle Korver. So the front court can do all they want for the Hawks, but if they don't contain Beal and Wall and at the same time don't take care of their offensive priorities, then this thing will be over and possibly be over in 4 games. Wizards are playing better right now. And for the Hawks, 60 wins, best record in the East means nothing if they can't get game 2 and try to steal one in D.C. over the weekend for games 3 and 4. But that'll be game 2 from Phillips Arena. Hawks have all the pressure on them. That does it for this edition of Truth, Justice in the NBA. We will talk about the great effort from Blake Griffin, a triple-double in the upset win for the Clippers at Houston in Game 1 of that West Semi. And on the next edition, we will also, too, talk about Golden State and Memphis Game 2 from Oakland on Tuesday night. Thanks for watching, everybody.